Welcome, everyone. We are glad to see all of you here today, and this is a nice event that we have the opportunity that all of the candidates can speak and have a chance to be heard by all of the chapter leadership and chapter members, and they can learn a little bit more about you. And so we'll hope you'll be kind of give us some candid comments and so forth, and we're ready to go. Okay, so I'm Ron Jensen. I'm on the left-hand side. Yes, it's a picture that's been around for a few years, but it's so easy to find. I guess I keep using it. So anyway, I'm the Eta Kappa Nu past president, which means I'm the chair of the NNA committee. And so I get the honor of pulling all of this together with the great support from Nancy, of course. And, you know, as you'll see on the right-hand side there, the election details. It actually begins at the beginning of next month, 1st of October, and runs for a full month. And all the active chapters get one vote. And you can see how we send out the ballots to them to make sure they have an opportunity. And we want the chapters to meet, decide, and cast a vote. And we're kind of hoping that they'll review the video and so forth that we're making as a result of this. And so we're having elections for the following positions: the president-elect, that's a one-year position, Region 1 and 2 governor, Region 7 to 10 governor, governor at large, and 2 student governors. And since we have the Region 1-2 governor and the Region 7-10 governor, only those chapters that are in those particular regions have an opportunity to vote on it. But everybody gets to vote for, you know, the president-elect, the governor at large, and the 2 student governors. So, so we're looking forward to the election. So I think we're ready to go on, and I am really happy that all of you are here, and hope you're in great form for telling us a little bit about you and what you're hoping to achieve if you're so elected. So, Nancy, if you want to go to the next page, and we'll get started here. And I'm going to give each of you speakers about 3 minutes. I'll try and give you a 30-second warning if that's okay. And we'll go from there. All of you candidates, we kind of put together a single slide and just kind of highlighted a bunch of stuff that you had told us about, that you were active and so forth in. And the key point is this is just for background while you were speaking. So we're ready to begin. So let's begin the real video now. And our first candidate is for president-elect. And the first candidate is Bernie Sanders. And so Bernie, I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to speak, and I'll give you a 30-second warning when we're at about the end of it.
Okay, I guess all this slide shows is some of the activities I've been involved in over the years. But it has been a fun ride, and hope I can continue to contribute to Eta Kappa Nu going forward into the future. So I'm particularly appreciative of this opportunity to be a part of Eta Kappa Nu. What I think one of the things that we all face as part of Eta Kappa Nu is funding, the financials. So a considerable part of our energy must be devoted to making sure that our financials stay in order. And we had some success in the past couple of years with that, basically freeing up some time. Yes? Someone speaking? But so
go ahead, Bernie.
Okay, so I think financial is going to be a continuing challenge, and it's one of the things that just has to be done to give us the freedom and the resources to be able to bring defined programs to the members of Eta Kappa Nu. But the thing that's fun is doing the conferences, the events, working with the students, working with the members of the Eta Kappa Nu to bring programs to particularly students. They're always excited by what's going on. They bring a lot of energy, a lot of life. They help me be excited and interested in life and in doing things for others. I think the thing that is what I would like to do going into the next couple of years is somehow help Eta Kappa Nu get in touch with its members. And what I'm talking about is really understanding what they're feeling, what they want, what excites them, what motivates them, what will help them in their career, what do they need to grow in their careers, in their understanding of their skills, their confidence. Um, it's just fun to see people blossom and become more of what they can be. And I hope to be able to be a part of that and to make a difference in people's lives. Anyway, that's a little bit of summary of who I am and what I would do.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Bernie. Just one question. You mentioned several things in there in your talk as to what you hope to focus on. If I were to pick out just one or two out of there, what would you say are the one or two things that you'd really like to accomplish?
Um, I think the big thing I would like to accomplish is that people feel a part of something bigger than themselves, something that they can be. And so maybe I call this the softer side, but to give people an opportunity to express what they feel, what excites them, and we can put it in a. Well, I would like to add something to our process that enables us to get in touch with the feelings, the experiences of people, and really help them reflect it into the organization. And I have some specific ideas on um, collecting data when we hold things and do more than just what works and doesn't work, but say what excites people, what what um, what is it they want to contribute to the organization, what is it that helps them be bigger than what they are, grow in their careers. And I would like to see us be able to capture some of that and share it and impact that for other people's careers.
Good points, Bernie. Thank you very much. And that was a nice timing and so forth. Let's move on to the next candidate. So,
Enrique.
you're the next candidate that if I give you about 3 minutes and I'll give you a 30-second warning. So tell us a little bit about you and what you'd like to accomplish.
Okay, well, can you hear me well? Because as I said, I'm connected here in a very special place.
You're coming through just very nicely. Thank you.
Okay, that's good. Well, I have been a volunteer for IEEE for about 43 years now. And I've been occupying positions in the local section level, at the regional, and also at the world level. And during one of those opportunities, I was a Division 7 director. It was when IEEE and Eta Kappa Nu merged as a Eta Kappa Nu honored society. And I started then to know about Eta Kappa Nu. That was 2010, 11. And then I realized how much this organization can do for everybody. So besides being an IEEE volunteer for many, many years in many, many positions, I think that being a part of Eta Kappa Nu has been one of the greatest things that's happened to me, because I understood something new that we can do. And with Eta Kappa Nu, I think we can focus and help IEEE. IEEE, if you don't know, having some problems with membership, for example, especially in the US. And I think giving the students another opportunity to connect and learn that what they can do for society through the Eta Kappa Nu chapters, that will be a way to revive those interests for IEEE also. So I see my vision there, and also that for the US and Canada, and also for outside the North America, we have a lot of opportunities in Asia and in Latin America and in Europe to have more chapters and expand Eta Kappa Nu on those areas. So I will have a vision of expanding and help IEEE. I think with Eta Kappa Nu we can help IEEE to revive the interest on this great organization.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And your timing is very good as well. So if I could ask you the same question, what are the one or two things that you'd really like to see Eta Kappa Nu accomplish while you're if you were elected to this position?
Yes, well, basically what I just said about connecting more people. I always say that one thing that we all professionals have in common is that we were students at one time, everybody. So this is the best time to connect people with the future. So by giving them the opportunity to belong to a great organization as HKN, that will give them another way to be connected with the profession. So my vision will be that to help expand HKN in the many areas that we can, and where the need is, focus on the need that they have in those different places.
Well, very good. Good comments. Thank you very much. Okay, and our third candidate is Ryan Bales, and here's a short page on Ryan that we pulled together. And Ryan, I'm going to give you 3 minutes as well, and I'll give you a 30-second warning if you happen to run long. So, okay.
Hey, thanks, Ron. Can you hear me okay?
I sure can. Thank you.
Okay. So as you can see there, I'm a principal research engineer at the Georgia Tech Research Institute. I've been there for about the past 14 years, and I work on embedded signal processing systems for radar and radar jammers. I was inducted into the Gamma Theta chapter at the University of Missouri-Rolla in 2002, and was active in several officer positions throughout undergrad and grad school. I started working on the HKN Board's Professional Membership Committee back in 2017, and was elected to the Board of Governors in 2020. And here I've served on the Governance Task Force, the Strategic Planning Committee, and I'm the current chair of the Graduate Student and Professional Activities Committee, along with Enrique. I'm a big proponent of professional service, by which I don't mean service you get paid for, but rather volunteer service to the profession, activities and efforts to improve electrical and computer engineering as a profession, as a field of education, and to promote science and engineering to the public. And service to the profession and to the public is one of the reasons Eta Kappa Nu has been my favorite organization to be involved in for the last 2 decades. The amount of service our chapters provide to their schools and communities is just outstanding. Right now we have about 140 active chapters, and so far this year they've reported I think about 23,000 service hours, which is great. As many of us get into engineering, one of our motivations or aspirations is to make the world a better place. And we often imagine developing new technologies and techniques to help make that happen. But the work that our chapters do helps accomplish that goal also. Global improvement can happen by doing relatively small projects to help our local communities, multiplied by hundreds of chapters around the world. And that's what I'd like the impact and legacy of Eta Kappa Nu to be, this global impact through many smaller local initiatives that we can all where we can all see the benefits firsthand and help participate and connect with people. Eta Kappa Nu at its core is very much a student-focused organization. Every year for the past 8 years or so, we've inducted between 2,000 and 3,000 students, but we become Eta Kappa Nu members for life. And so that means we also have all these graduates and alumni out in the world. And so one of my goals is to maintain connections with students after graduation, because they have just a ton of experience and perspective that can add a lot of great value to the student experience. That could be by serving as alumni mentors to chapters or helping to organize events and initiatives across all of HKN worldwide. And so by doing those things, we can help grow the idea of Eta Kappa Nu as a career-long society.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah,
thank you.
Your timing is excellent, Ryan. So thank you. Just I heard all your comments and so forth. Is there one or two that you'd like to summarize that you would like to see Eta Kappa Nu accomplish while you're, if you're elected as the candidate for president?
Yeah, I think the single biggest aspect is increasing the interaction between alumni and the students. We have all this talent already out in the world, and a lot of times I think they just don't tend to think that they can stay connected. I know when I first finished my master's back in 2006 or so, that I didn't really realize there was a role post graduation within Eta Kappa Nu, and I've learned otherwise over the last 6 or 7 years. And yeah, I'd just like to promote that more than anything. Help help folks realize that they can continue to contribute. There are a lot of roles available to further the organization and the group well past graduation.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. So that is our three candidates for president-elect. And with that, we're ready to move to the next set of candidates. So this is the governor for regions 1 and 2. And regions 1 and 2 is the northeast part of the United States. That happens to be where those two regions arrive. And so our first candidate for that governor position is Ramon de la Cruz. And Ramon, I'm going to give you about 3 minutes as well, and I'll try and give you a warning.
Yes, thank you, Ron. Thanks everyone for coming to this event. My interaction with Ron goes back from the days from Iowa State University. I met Ron when he was chair of Region 4. I was a student representative at that time for Iowa State University. So some of the some of my goals here, being running for Board of Governors for Region 1, is my main goal would be to develop new programs or activities that will enhance interacting and staying in contact with HKN members. As we know, the Eta Kappa Nu student involvement is actually very high, which unfortunately for the IEEE membership and students is not. And right now, the transition from student member to professional member is where we see a lot of the loss or a lot of the there isn't a continuity as we would like. Student membership transitioning to young professionals to professional members is the life and blood of IEEE. So one of my goals will be to leverage the organization and excitement and the very active participation of Eta Kappa Nu, in which most of the students are IEEE members anyway, to help revamp and help bridge the gap with the student membership that are actually in that transition, and there isn't successful. For example, as I mentioned, HKN student involvement is key to get the IEEE student membership as they move both to professional life and to young professionals. Among some of my initiatives would be to attract and retain the younger Eta Kappa Nu to continue to grow membership through engagement also. Work with the other Board of Governors to increase our community impact and general public awareness, right? And in this case, as you know, not everybody are familiar with either IEEE or Eta Kappa Nu. So I think there's an opportunity there outside of both of organizations to continue expanding public awareness. And that will also could be leveraged too, as one of our candidates for president-elect is fundraising and getting funds. You know, you're successful as an organization if you can actually generate funds, and funds right now are becoming harder and harder to get. How do we make sure that people are willing to help? And there's a lot of good nature, a lot of good generous people that are organizations that are willing to fund good activities, and we need to increase the public awareness and outreach them. And then again, it's keeping expanding and creating new ways to work and learn how to expand our global network, as now we are part of this global organization, and invest in the people and ideas that will help, fulfill the mission of both IEEE and Eta Kappa Nu.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Ramon. Let me ask you the same sort of question, just to summarize. What are the one or two things that you really would like to accomplish if you're elected as a candidate?
In this particular one is basically enhance the interacting and staying in contact with Eta Kappa Nu members, particularly expanding and increasing activities between the Eta Kappa Nu chapters and the student IEEE chapters, in addition to also participating in professional events. That's one of the things that at that time when I was at Iowa State University, we brought together both the student chapters and the professional chapters of the difference from Region 1, from the different sections, from the Des Moines section and from the Twin Cities section in Rochester. And it was very successful, and I think we can replicate that all across Region 1.
All right. Well, thank you. All right. And we're ready for the second candidate now, and that's Denise Griffin. And Denise, you have 3 minutes as well, and I'll try and give you a 30-second warning, okay?
Sounds good. Okay, thank you, Ron. Thank you, everybody else, for being here as well. And I'm excited to be running for this position. I think my main areas of focus would be essentially to work under the guise of sort of partnerships with other parts of IEEE and outside of IEEE in order to bring more content, bring better programs into HKN. So what I mean by that is partnerships, especially with industry. I think the way that we can get funding in, obviously, easiest is through industry. And I think right now there's not as much of a focus within IEEE in general of having the industry contacts. And in the past, some of my most successful events that I've worked on, or programs that I've worked on, things that have impacted me the most in IEEE have been the situations where I, was at a conference that had industries there, basically sponsoring the event, and being able to see the connections that get formed between the people in those industries and the students and the professionals. So like sort of the full circle, the people that are there as students, the people that are professionals, and then, the people that are out there working. And I think those events end up being, for me anyways, the most impactful. So I'd like to increase the number of companies basically that are interacting with HKN and supporting HKN and, basically being involved in events for HKN. I also think there's partnerships within IEEE, such as the Women in Engineering organization. There's a bunch of events that are already in existence that have students there, that have professionals there, that have people from industry there, that have people from academia there. They're already there, these events, and we can leverage those events by connecting HKN to those events. So, for example, we already have the upcoming, HKN alumni reception is going to take place at the Phased Array Conference in Waltham, which is perfect because there's already going to be a bunch of people there. And anybody who shows up as HKM alumni will get to meet some amazing people at one of the best conferences IEEE has. And that, wasn't a lot of work to get that connection in place, to get that reception to take place at that event, because it's already in place. And similarly, we have an event coming up in early November with Women in Engineering that's usually about 250 people in Providence, and it's going to already have students, already have professionals, and already have about 20 companies who are going to be there for a career fair, things like that. So somebody coming to that, gets to meet all kinds of people and come out of it with, probably at least one person that they met that impacted them in some way. So I think
20
partnerships is
seconds.
okay. So partnerships is key. Leveraging what we already have is key. And finally, I think just finding a way to utilize the tools we already have, like OU Analytics and social media, to connect the people to get this all to happen.
Very good. Thank you, Denise.
Sure.
And just if you would want to take a 30 seconds and give us a summary of what you're hoping to accomplish. You mentioned several different things in your process.
Yep. So I'm hoping to increase the number of events that HKN has where there is industry presence, both in terms of financial and them just physically being there to show people, to show the students, what they could be when they grow up, essentially. And the other thing is to have a way to have the more senior HKN people connect to the students. So if I go visit a school, I would like to maybe bring another HKN member with me who's more senior. And so it's not just me, but it's maybe somebody else in industry who can kind of be there with me to show, hey, this is what a senior person does, and this is what you can do.
Great. Thank you very much, Denise.
Sure.
All right, we're ready to move on to the Region 7 to 10 governor. And Region 7 to 10 consists of Canada, that's Region 7. 8 is Europe and Asia and Africa. And 9 is South America and all the way up through Mexico. And Region 10 is Asia Pacific. So that's a large area, but we have relatively few chapters, not as many as we wish we had. And but so we're looking for a strong governor to represent that particular area and give us lots of more opportunities. And so our first candidate is Sapavati, and Sapavati is in a meeting, an IEEE meeting, and she cannot get out of it. So we are going to try and play her video. So we'll go ahead with that.
Hello, I am Sapavati Aramwit from Thailand. I am honored to be nominated as a Region 7 to 10 Governors candidate. Currently, I am an associate professor and head of Multimedia Data Analytic and Processing Research Unit, Department of Electrical Engineering, Chulalongkorn University, Bangkok, Thailand. Apart from being IEEE member for 27 years and IEEE volunteer leadership for 14 years, include 5 years as an IEEE Educational Activity Board member, as a pre-university education chair and section education outreach committee chair. 8 years as a IEEE Region 10 executive committees. IEEE ETA Capital is also my family's. I was inducted into ETA Capital Professional Member on ETA Chapters, November 2015. I am a faculty advisor of the Mute Data Chapter at Chulalongkorn University. The chapter won the IEEE ETA Capital Outstanding Chapter Award in 2016. As for my experiences, I have strong network in diverse regions inside and outside IEEE. If elected as IEEE ETA Capital Region 7 to 10 governors, the key point would be that I would bring in my global experiences and with the leadership, and also to establish the collaborative partnership for the mutual benefit of the IEEE ETA Capital chapters. The mission to vitalize the chapter to their fullest potential and to serve IEEE ETA Capital families, students, chapter advisors, alumni, and professional members. I certainly support ETA Capital vision to grow the network globally. So some of the priority are, the first is to increase the new chapter formation, especially in the region 7 to 10. There are many reputable universities that are interested to form ETA Capital chapters. We need to outreach more and to work with region and section leadership to recognize and to integrate the resource to support the chapters. Second is to enhance the membership value and experiences with better value program and services. And I think this is what ETA Capital now has done best. The third one is to vitalize ETA Capital chapters and synergize the strength of the chapter for cross collaboration among regions and chapter development. Fourth is to strengthen globalized partnership program with IEEE board, regions, technical societies, councils, and development. Also the international organizations. Fifth is a room to grow. Develop an IEEE ETA Capital mentorship program connecting students with ETA Capital eminence and professional member from academic to industry. The last one is to collaborate with industry and major technical society for skill development program. Thank you for your time and for listening to my speech. I am happy to contribute to ETA Capital, and I do appreciate your kind support.
So our next candidate is Heba, and Heba, I'll invite you to give us about 3 minutes of discussion. I'll try and give you a 30-second warning as well, okay?
Thank you, Ron, everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm Heba Shaban. I'm a professor of wireless communications with the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering at Arab Academy for Science, Technology, and Maritime Transport in Alexandria, Egypt. I received my PhD from Virginia Tech in 2010, there where I learned about HKN, and I was invited to join the society in 2009 as a graduate student at Virginia Tech. I was actually inducted into HKN through MuBeta chapter as the founding faculty advisor. MuBeta was the first HKN chapter in Egypt and Africa, and I've been serving as the founding faculty advisor since then. I'm also a senior member of IEEE, ComSoc, EMBS, and Women in Engineering Societies, and currently serve as a member of the IEEE Educational Activities Board Pre-University Coordination Committee. I'm running for the regional governor of regions 7 to 10. My work as a university professor and professional service with IEEE and IEEE-HKN enabled me to teach and mentor pre-university, university, and graduate students. In the past 4 years, we've been able to work on multiple initiatives that were selected as best practices by HKN, and we've been able to receive multiple awards like the Key Chapter Recognition and Outstanding Chapter Awards for 3 times in a row. We have also created a successful STEM outreach program. We called it the Move Tech Engineers. It's a mentoring program for pre-university students, and it's available on the Try Engineering portal. Recently, we received an award for this program. We won the IEEE Region 8 Acceleration Contest 2021 for the pre-university education. And recently, we organized the prelim stage of the IEEE Yes Yes 12 Global Challenge and received the Vibrant Pilot Award for Excellence. So in a summary, I will focus on having successful chapters, how to succeed while either installing a new chapter or working on chapter development. So if I'm elected to the Board of Governors, I'll foster chapter and member engagement in HKN community through inter-chapter activities. I will work on HKN mentorship program for members, leaders, and volunteers, and will work on establishing chapter development strategies. I'll promote HKN STEM outreach programs and activities and work on engaging HKN chapters with IEEE programs. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Heba. And you did a very nice job of summarizing yourself there. I was going to ask you to summarize it again, but you can if you wish, or we can just move on, whichever you'd like.
Summarize my activities.
Just repeat your summary. Yeah, repeat your summary for us, will you? What you'd like to accomplish.
Okay, I'll work on engaging members in the HKN community, global community. As a wireless communication professional, I'll focus on connectivity, connecting people, and have a strong HKN community, because I believe that together we'll be able to achieve more, and to have a strong HKN community and foster inter-chapter activities. I'll also work on HKN mentorship program for members, leaders, and volunteers to help it's like connecting members, but to help each other to grow and to develop our chapters. I'll also work on chapter development strategies, because I believe that when leaders of chapters don't identify the weakness points, it's at this point where they may become an inactive chapters. This is the key point. I'll also promote HKN STEM outreach programs and activities of HKN members and chapters, and we'll work on engaging HKN chapters with IEEE programs.
Very good. Very good. Thank you so much. It's really been interesting as I've been listening here, and I know many of you, and it's interesting to see how your background affects the comments and so forth, you know, the experiences that you've had with HKN. So I really appreciate that. All right, we're ready to move on to the next position, and that's the governor at large position. And we have two candidates for governor at large. And Anis, you're the very first one. So if you want to take about 3 minutes, and I'll try and give you a 30-second warning as well.
Sure, thank you. My name is Anis Benarfi. I'm based in Ottawa, Canada. I graduated from University of Calgary with my PhD in 2019. Then I did my postdoc, and now I'm working full-time as a senior engineer with analog devices as an RF engineer designing transceivers for 5G. So my involvement with IEEE started, I would say, 2013. So it's been 9-10 years, I would say. I took leadership positions in my section, the region, with technical societies, and with multiple events with young professionals and students. I chaired the IEEE Rising Stars Conference back in 2020. And at that time, actually, I got to hear about HKN, which unfortunately in Canada, we only have one active chapter here in Halifax. So going directly to my election platform, we want to increase the number of chapters and make it even across regions. I know that's mainly focused on region 1 to 6 US-based chapters, mainly students, but also myself, I was inducted into the ETA chapter, which is the young professionals and professional chapter. So that also, I think there is a big potential to grow that chapter. So since I got inducted, I joined the conference organizing committee within HKN. I worked on HKNX, on Pathways to Industry, and currently working with the organizing committee on student leadership. conference, I helped with raising funds, and I'm happy to announce that we reached a record number this for SLC this year. So talking to HKN staff, I could feel that the revenue streams and the funding is one of the issues. So definitely that has to be addressed. In terms of students, the added value, what the value proposition that we're trying to give, I also had a chat with HKN members and HKN staff just to understand if we can improve the interaction with industry and students. So I believe we can start an internship platform where students can just deposit their CVs and industry will share their job offers, and we broadcast those regularly on the website. And on my platform, I mentioned that I would love to see involvement of HKN students because they are the elite of the students in technical societies. So there are a lot of scholarships, a lot of volunteering opportunities, technical events, conferences, and they can hear about all the opportunities to submit papers and posters and technical presentations, whether to present or just attend. So those, I think there is a lack of communication there, so that has to be addressed. Personally, I've been heavily involved in humanitarian technology. I served as the Region 7 Humanitarian Initiative Committee Chair
15 seconds, please.
for 3 years. So I would love also to see HKN students getting involved in humanitarian activities as well. So I think that summarizes my plan, and yeah, looking forward to working with all the students on achieving these goals. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Anis. And again, I'm just going to ask you kind of the same thing. If you could just kind of give a 30-second summary as to what you'd like to accomplish as if you're successful in this candidate.
Sure. So the first thing is growing the number of chapters geographically. That's the macro image, and also the micro image, which is growing the chapters themselves, recruiting more officers and hosting more events and raising more funding and growing the teams themselves. So that is something that I would encourage and I would work to make it happen. Collaboration between chapters and the involvement of students in technical societies and humanitarian activities. Those are also things that I would love to basically work with students to guide them or give them, at least share my experience and encourage them to join those initiatives.
Great. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your comments today. And we're ready to move to the next candidate.
All right. Good morning, Ron. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure can, Amy. So yeah, welcome.
Excellent. Well, hello to everybody who's watching. Thank you for taking the time to be with us today. I was inducted into HKN in 2006 from the Gamma Theta chapter at the University of Missouri-Rolla. I have been a relatively active member since then. I started off as the president of my chapter, took on some other leadership roles. Since graduation, I've been focused primarily in systems engineering with John Deere and their construction division. I've also been involved with HKN throughout my time, done some special projects around initiation starting in 2017, and I've been the chair of the Young Alumni Engagement Subcommittee since 2019. In that time, I'm really proud of the work the committee's done. We've created a podcast, we've supported conferences and other committees within HKN with volunteers, and we're looking forward to continuing that work with mentoring initiatives and other special projects. On a personal note, I'm a huge passionate advocate for STEM outreach. I've led a lot of work in my community with a culminated impact of thousands of students who now have opportunities to get involved with science and technology at a very young age. Looking forward to what I'd like to do with this position. When I think back on my time with HKN, one of the biggest themes has been connection. Both for peers and as a student, and then within the wider community. I think that going forward, maintaining those connections as students graduate from our relatively robust student experience into their professional life is really important. I think it's critical for the health of our organization that we support people through that transition and really demonstrate that HKN is for life and not just for college. I also have a passion about communicating the benefits of HKN to companies within the industry. I'm really proud of the work that I've done sharing the benefits of HKN with John Deere, which has resulted in some pretty significant financial support for the organization, and also a long relationship and some employment opportunities for those within HKN. I think that experience can absolutely be duplicated, and I think it provides some really concrete value to our members. Overall, those connections I think are the most beneficial part of the organization to me, and I think there's significant opportunities for our young alumni and for people who are maybe not a part of the organization at the moment to connect to their student chapter, into the larger HKN organization, and into IEEE as a whole.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Amy. And just to make it consistent, you want to give a 30-second summary of what you would like to accomplish?
Absolutely. So I'd start by continuing to focus on supporting our young alumni as they navigate those post-undergraduate transitions with content that's aimed at them and at maintaining their connection within the organization. I'd like to build on our student experience by supporting our chapters as they develop initiatives, looking for opportunities to connect our graduates into the student experience in order to support them. Then I'd like to investigate promoting IEEE-HKN to employers as a source of key talent, which gives concrete benefits to our memberships who are seeking employment as well.
Very good. Well done. And so this completes the two candidates. And let's move to the next candidate then. And I'll kind of give a little introduction to this. We have two student governor positions, and they're elected for 1 year at a time. And we actually have three candidates for those two positions. Speaking as a board member who's been around for a few years with Eta Kappa Nu, we really appreciate the folks that have been student governors. They are tremendous contributors, and having the various perspectives and so forth, as well as all of you who have spoken today, you each bring your own perspective, your own view, your own connection with Eta Kappa Nu. And the student governors are really important to us from that standpoint. And so let's begin with the first of the three. And Matteo, if you want to speak to us for about 3 minutes.
Yes. So first of all, thanks, Ron, and thanks for the opportunity. I'm Matteo. I'm currently a PhD student in Politecnico di Torino in Italy, and I'm currently an active member and a member of the board for the next 15 days more of the MUNU chapter in Italy. This chapter is the only one in Italy, so I know what it means to be the only one, and I know what it means to allow the chapter to meet the community, and that it's hard, it takes time, and what it means to reach outside in an environment that is not used to the HKN world. Also IEEE world, because here in Italy there are some student branches, for example, but they are not so much, and only few of them are really active. So my current position in the MUNU chapter allow me to understand all these features, and is what I want to bring as a student governor inside the board of HKN. And these opportunities are a lot related to the possibility to grow as chapters, to extend and to let other people outside Eta Kappa Nu what Eta Kappa Nu is. And especially as a chapter, and we organized, and I contribute to organize them, a lot of events locally that has an impact, that had an impact, and we try year after year to grow. This thanks to the opportunity of Eta Kappa Nu. As a chapter, we won the Key Chapter Award and the Outstanding Chapter Award since the foundation of our chapter. That is 5 years ago or 6. But well, I was there since from the beginning, and I found it. So as a summary and as a conclusion, my relative long experience inside Aneta Kapanu chapter, inside a chapter that is in this moment growing, is what I want to bring to Eta Kapanu in the Board of Governors. And well, that would be a great opportunity, and I will just say thank you, because inside the Kapanu I found a group of friends and beautiful people that are great to work with. So thanks.
Well, thank you, Matteo. That was excellent, excellent timing as well. And let me give you 30 seconds just to kind of repeat your summary as to what you'd like to bring to HKN or what you'd like to accomplish.
So what I want to accomplish as a student governor is to bring the experience that I got from my local chapter, that is the only one in Italy, and it is a growing chapter, as how to develop the community around HKN, and how we should bring HKN to the local community, to the other people, and STEAM outreach activities.
Very good. Thank you very much. Let's move to the next candidate, and this is Eleanor Jackson. And so, Eleanor, I'll give you 3 minutes to, and I'll try and give you a 30-second warning as well. So, please.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Ellie Jackson, and I am the third and final member who is from the Gamma Theta chapter at Missouri S&T, not UMR, I'm sorry. I was inducted in spring of 2020. I graduated with my bachelor's in May, and I'm now a first-year PhD student in computer engineering on a project for cybersecurity for autonomous vehicles. And then as far as my HKN history goes, I've done quite a bit of work with my local chapter. I kind of decided when I joined, this is my organization, and I've stuck with it. So I've taken on various roles, such as recording secretary, working on a lot of tracking of activities and coordinating a lot of events for our chapter as well during COVID. And then also from there, I moved on to the vice president role, where I had a significant hand in planning our induction and recruitment of new members. And I was able to recruit during that time, or help recruit 6 undergraduate, a graduate member, and also 4 professional members from our faculty at S&T. Also in that time, I pioneered what we like to call our recent graduate alumni panel, which allows the department as a whole to come together and ask questions of recent graduates from S&T, and even more specifically, we have HKN members that we've pinpointed to come to the panel and answer questions in that capacity. And then I've spent the past year from fall of 2020 to 2022 and spring of 2022 as my chapter president. And so the main goals for my presidency in that way was transitioning back to in-person operations at that point in time, which was an interesting time to say the least, with navigating all of the red tape and rules from the university. And to those goals, our main goals for the chapter during that time was to increase engagement, membership retention, and name recognition, because those were massive things that had been lost during COVID. And so that also transitions to what I think HKN as a whole, what I can help provide in that capacity as student governor is accessibility, and to that end, need to work on funding, engagement, and communication. And I think engagement is the linchpin of this conversation, where a lot of chapters, new chapters or reactivated chapters, might not have, they don't know what kind of events to hold or when to space out events or what kind of planning goes into certain events. And so I believe that we can help the planning process for new chapters and reactivated chapters by extending the successful practice database into a successful semester guide. And then we can also expand our engagement with our alumni by bringing in alumni to present to chapters and to show that HKN is, as we've stated before, a lifelong event and not just junior to senior year at your university. And then as far as funding goes, I believe that we can create somewhat of like a wish list or Match.com aspect between activities that chapters want to host but don't necessarily have the money for, and also industry partners that want to see engagement in that area, so that they can partner with local chapters in that manner.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Eleanor. Appreciate that. Or Ellie, I should say Ellie. So yeah. So Ellie, if you want to just give a 30-second summary, just for everyone catches the important things you'd like to accomplish.
Yeah, so I think accessibility is is the unofficial pillar of HKN, and to that end, we need to address funding, engagement, and communication. And as far as engagement, for engagement, we need to help the chapters be able to host events and engage wider audiences, such as CS students or perhaps majors that aren't traditionally associated with IEEE, to get them into our circle, and so that we can have a larger impact factor going on. And then partnering with industry partners to get funding to local chapters for events. And then also communication as a whole. If we don't have that, the system kind of breaks down. So just increasing that and always having an open line of communication as well.
All right. Well, thank you very much. All right. If we want to go on to the next PowerPoint slide, and this is our third candidate for student governor, and this is Arthur. Arthur, give you 3 minutes to talk, and I'll try and give you a 30-second warning if you need it.
I'd like to thank HKN for the great impact it has had on my life over the last few years. As HKN, we are in a great place right now, thanks to the tireless efforts of our predecessors. I'm Art DePoyen. I'm a second-year PhD student at UNT, working in computer vision and signal processing. I was the 2019-2020 Lambda Zeta president, and I'm currently an advisor of the HKN branch and hold numerous other student advisor positions here at UNT. I'm at a point in both my academic and IEEE career to make the commitment to every member of HKN to take on the honor of serving as student governor. With that, my platform is expansion on new campuses, current campuses, and through STEM outreach to future members. As an HKN leader at UNT, I've gained experience creating programming that is engaged on all levels, from the Future Innovators Workshop for K-12 students to the expansion into every department at UNT in the School of Engineering, and outreach to exceptional professionals. I want to help every chapter to expand through adaptation of our successes to their campuses. It is evident to me that every HKN chapter is its own and that we become stronger through this diversity. My record of membership expansion and STEM outreach are well documented by both HKN and many IEEE societies. We more than doubled our membership in the time that I've been a president or advisor, and won 4 key and outstanding chapter awards with professionals in the spread of IEEE fields, including law and medicine. What I see as the greatest challenge of all of these yields that I'd like to see in my time in office is the expansion to new campuses. I know of at least 10 campuses that have incredible research and top students around the world that I personally have contacts at that do not have HKN chapters. These universities, I'm talking of people that are possibly even HKN members, and that's the surprising thing to me, is that they haven't brought it there. But when you're a professional, your life gets busy and you can't afford to always invest all the time required to found something such as HKN. And I understand that, and I want to help facilitate the expansion. I want to give all the students and faculty at these universities that aren't current HKN members the great opportunity it has afforded us as HKN members. Additionally, I believe that further expansion of the very successful HKN events at IEEE society conferences will help to market HKN to all the top researchers and leaders at those events, as well as reigniting our alumni. I'd also like to thank everyone in closing and wish good luck to all my fellow candidates. Thank you.
Well, great. Thank you, Art. You want to give us a 30-second summary of what you would like to accomplish?
Yeah, I really like to expand this FIW workshop and adapt it to any of the, environments throughout the world. I know that it might not be as easy to do it in certain parts of the world, but it's incredibly powerful. It's one of the things that I take the most pride in, as well as our recitation and study halls here at UNT. So getting to influence the future engineers is most easily done, I've found, with my fellow students, interacting with them. They have a deep connection and they can relate more easily to the students' current life, having only been in school recently themselves. So thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Art. And thank you to all of the candidates. This should be the last one, I believe. So just to make sure, thank you, Art. And thank you to all of the candidates. This should be the last one, I believe. So just to make sure from a PowerPoint deck, I haven't missed something. But I really want to thank all of you candidates for participating this morning. And this has been very interesting. And for all the the non-candidates who are listening, and the ones that will be watching the recording in the future, I hope you get an impression as to just the variety of perspectives and talents and so forth that these candidates bring to Eta Kappa Nu. And we're going to build a stronger organization because we have such a wide variety of perspectives and ideas as to how we can move the organization forward. We really do appreciate it. And so with that, I'd like to thank, we have a few volunteers who have been helping us as well. Michael has been helping us make sure everything is operating properly, even while traveling. And Nancy and Sylvia, from a staff standpoint, we really appreciate your support as well. And I think we are to the end. And so Nancy, I'll ask you, do you have any closing remarks?
Well, Ron, as chair of the Nominating Appointments Committee, I want to thank you for doing an excellent job putting together an amazing slate of candidates for the upcoming Board of Governors. I mean, I have the great pleasure of working so directly with the board, and I know all of you so well. I'm really thrilled that your interest in working with Eta Kappa Nu. I love all the plans you've laid out. It's very much in mission with what we've been trying to do. So I'm very committed and hope to work with each of you. Whether or not you're the successful candidate or not, I hope you'll continue to work with HKN. We'd love to have your involvement, your energy, your enthusiasm, and your expertise in all of those connections you make, because it will make for a better Eta Kappa Nu for everyone. So thank you so much, Ron. Thank you to each of the candidates, and thank you to all the chapters for voting and for your level of engagement in Eta Kappa Nu, which really, as much as it helps you develop yourself as a leader, it helps so many other people that you may never even know how much your influence has had. But I assure you, what you do today for Eta Kappa Nu pays huge dividends into the future. Thank you.
And Nancy, thank you. You made a comment that I just have to add on to. Not everyone, who spoke today is going to be successful in becoming the candidate, the governor position, and so forth. But I hope that doesn't let you off the off. We'd still like to, maintain contact with you and involve you somehow in Eta Kappa Nu, because your skills and your perspectives and so forth are very important to us. So we look forward to having all of you involved in one form or another. And so I wish you all the best of luck. Good luck in your candidacy. And I hope things go well for all of you. Thank you all very much.